I'll do. Didn't you just do it? I'll do it. You want to do another one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Like my ride, Evan's trip was downright sleepy. The car was dryly precise. It never exceeded the speed limit, used its turn signal well in advance of a lane change, and yielded to pedestrians in crosswalks whom speedy drivers might dis- disregard.
Very
And so
nice.
very nice. And the word regard means pay attention to. So disregard. They're saying, hey, if you're a speedy driver, you might be more dangerous than this car because the car sensed the people crossing the streets, the pedestrians, and hey, they stopped, no problem. So they must have
Ma'am,
pretty,
dryly precious mean dryly precious.
okay, very good. Precise means very careful. So dryly precise means it's a machine, it's not a human, it does what it's supposed to do without emotion. Dryly sometimes doesn't mean wet, like water. It can just mean if you talk dryly to somebody, it means you do it very flat without emotion.
And
Question.
precise means something that's exact
Exact. Thank you, Ma'am.
or correct.
Yep. Okay. Let's go to the next slide.
Matri, would you like to read this one?
Yes, ma'am. Number 3, Mike's robot taxi was more aggressive. It jumped off at the starting line with more acceleration than he had expected. He was mystified by the way the car zipped through several tightly packed neighborhoods before settling uh, into the drive to Golden Gate Park. But at the top of the hill, Mike's care recognized a man crossing the road in a crosswalk, yet kept creeping forward slowly while it waited for him to get to the other side. The pedestrian gave the car and Mike an annoyed look.
I apologize for my typo there. Mark's where it said Mike's care, should have been Mike's car. You read it right at first. My apologies. So I can imagine the pedestrian. So you're at the crosswalk and this car is inching towards you, and the pedestrian's going to look like, what are you doing? This is my turn to cross the street. So for some reason, the third car was aggressive and it made people uncomfortable.
Think what
So
that
how
would
did,
be like today when we're not used to driverless cars. And if you're
Mhm.
walking in the crosswalk and you see a car that's coming towards you and you're kind of a little bit angry and worried, so you turn to look and there's not even anyone in the driver's seat. That would be a little bit I mean, I think you'd know right away it's a driverless car, but still, that would be scary for me. I think I'd walk really quickly through the crosswalk.
And I think this is a news report from like 2 days ago, but if I was putting this together and I was checking the San Francisco television reports, and the people like this man are really lobbying the city, don't let these cars come because we've had mistakes, they're not safe. There's quite a groundswell of popular opinion against them, but this is balanced reporting. So we're seeing most of the time they're very safe. So I don't know. Let's go to the next slide.
Manav, you're back. Let's have you read this one, please.
Ma'am,
Your that taxi speaker side, please stay sure it's clear before exiting. Exiting.
You did it.
Exiting, you got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So again, that's that disembodied voice, very, you're here, the taxi speakers said, that like, oh, how pleasant, you're here without any trouble. Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Okay, Shivansh, would you read this one, please?
okay, ma'am. What will be the future be for robot taxi? The Waymo riders were for build
You got it. Affordable.
affordable, ranging for $18 to $21, about the same. An Uber, it's going to take years, if not decided
Decades.
decades, for Waymo, Waymo to recoup the billions of dollars that it has invested in its several through their no driver. Each rider is supported by safety is. Say
By staff.
what, ma'am?
The word, it's supported by staff. That's another word for employees.
Of at the Waymo site
Site.
site that can be
Summoned.
summoned if a car runs into trouble. Ma'am, what is summoned?
Summoned means you call them, you ask for help.
And forgive me for the typos. I did that late last night and I'll have to go back and fix those. It should be same as an Uber. And Uber is a company, it's like a cab company, a taxi company that's run by private people that own their own cars. So they're a little bit cheaper than a regular city taxi. So it's saying that, they're affordable. They don't cost too much money. But look at that, billions. Those of you guys have studied math and you know how big a million is. Billions of dollars. Wow. Do you think it's ever going to be something that catches on? Edwin,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you think about this? Do you think this is the trend for the future, that you're going to see these in every city?
Yes, ma'am, I think so. It will be in future. It can be helpful for many people, those who are little from a poor family and they are paralyzed, but they will need a lot of amount to even buy this robot taxis.
Mhm. Anybody else got an idea? Do you think this is the
I know it's cheap right now, but I think it's going to be more expensive over time
interesting?
because
Why do
there
you
are
think that?
new features in the cars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but how much dollar this robot taxis means? It is now not launched, huh?
$18 to $21. I'm not sure what that would convert into in your money.
So
But I
like
will,
$1 is about 80 rupees.
okay. And it would be about as much as if you worked in a fast food restaurant here, like McDonald's, it'd be like 1 hours of your wages. So, that's a big chunk of change. It's not, and it's also competing against a car that somebody's got their own business, a human. So we're back to that whole idea. Now that we have artificial intelligence and we have programmed taxis, they're competing against a human being that's feeding their family and putting a roof over their head. So what do you think? Is this the wave of the future?
Gonna take away jobs mostly.
Potentially it could take away jobs, maybe. My husband made a good point. He wondered if the government, because this is new technology, he wondered if they're getting millions of dollars from the government just to develop this unique way of going around. I don't know. Do you think the corporation's on their own? How about, anybody else got ideas about that? Sir, do you have any ideas about that?
Ma'am, Waymo's site is in United States only.
Actually, Sir said it was actually, I don't know if that is the exact company, but Sir said when he was in Abu Dhabi and the Arab Emirates that he saw these cars there.
I think that car was from the Toyota company. I remember that. It was from
Okay.
Toyota.
From Toyota, huh?
Toyota.
I'm not sure billions of dollars though. I mean, at $18 to $21, is that even beginning to help pay for this new technology? Yeah.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am,
Manav?
so means, in one time, in some time you will get one chance to buy a Toyota one car. Then which car you will buy?
If I had Toyotas are very good cars, very dependable cars. Yeah. What do you okay, so here we go. This is unique. How many of you now, after reading this article, because this is just about the end, would you take a ride in this type of car? So yes or no? Let's go around the room.
Yes.
Nana
Nana?
says,
Yes, ma'am.
Next slide, should we
Because
go?
we will have it, we will.
Should we go to the next?
if you'd like to, yes.
Okay, who hasn't spoken in a while? Barrage.
Sarthak,
I think Sarthak hasn't read so far.
Sarthak is not there.
Not there? Okay.
Yeah,
So Viraj.
Barrage is gonna read this one.
But calls to the customer's assistance line are Waymon's problem. For the rest of us, it's easy to forget no one is behind the wheel of the robot taxi. The only reminder comes as you start to thank the driver before climbing out of the car. A glimpse, glimpse,
Glimpse.
glimpse
Glimpse.
at the empty front reminds you that you are all alone.
Well, that empty front, is the empty front seat. Again, my apologies. Wow, I've got to do a better job editing. A
And
glimpse at the empty front seat reminds you that you're all alone.
glimpse means a very quick look.
Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Who wants to read this one? Matri, could you just read this last one?
Yes, ma'am. How
Ma'am.
very unique. Be yourself, create your own unique style by Kim Tae-young.
So there you go. That's it for today.
That was a great lesson. Very interesting. Thank you, Mamsu.
Yes, ma'am. You have
My
worked
pleasure.
very much hard work behind this, preparing all this information in a systematic way, arranging it, and giving a nice lecture. Really,
Well, I think this is a
very
wonderful thing
commendable.
because ideally, like I think it was Unadi said, it's a balanced report. There's pros, there's cons. It leaves a lot for us to think about. And I think this is one of those lessons that we'll probably look back in 10 years and say, we were there at the beginning and we'll just, whether it's going to take on or not, I really don't know. So,
Students,
well,
everybody, I have an 8:30 appointment, so I
Okay.
need to
Yes, ma'am.
log away. So I will see you next week.
Okay,
Everyone
ma'am.
have a lovely week.
Yes.
Bye now.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm going
Thank
to
you
check
so
out.
much. Have a great
Bye,
day
ma'am.
ahead. God
Have a
bless
great
you all.
evening. You
Bye,
sleep well.
ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Great seeing you. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, all of you.